Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about ratio, proportion and variation. This is very important chapter. So in-depth knowledge is very important here because in DIE all the questions are related to percentage, profit loss, ratio, proportion and average. So यहाँ पे अगर आपका पूरा concept clear होगा then you can handle all questions from DI section, data interpretation section, and from individual questions also coming from this chapter. So this is very important chapter. So in depth mane first I will discuss all the concept and at the end we will solve very good questions. Okay, so first, what do you mean by ratio? So when we compare two quantities of same kind, then ratio is formed. So basically the first key point ki when we compare two quantities of same kind and same unit, so what do you mean by same kind and same unit? So what do you mean by same kind? In a ratio, we can compare weight versus weight, age versus age, but you cannot compare weight versus age. So this is not allowed. So same kind means age versus age or weight versus weight. Similarly, same unit means whatever unit I will select. Suppose kg versus kg, gram versus a gram, I can choose, okay, but I cannot compare kg versus a gram, okay, that is not allowed here. That's the same unit means here suppose age means year versus year, you cannot compare year with month, okay. Similarly, weight means kg versus kg or gram versus gram. In this way you can represent. So basically conclusion is, what do you mean by ratio? When we compare two quantities of same kind and same unit by division, then a ratio is formed. So this is very important, same kind and same unit. Next important point, ratio always expressed in simplest form. Ratio always expressed in simplest form or standard form. Suppose I will write 10 by 15. The simplest form means just simplify by 5. If I simplify by 5, I will get 2 here, I will get 3 here. So 2:3. Okay, simplest form. Always write in simplest form. Okay. Next important, sir, what do you mean by ratio? Example, suppose there are 10 boys and 15 girls in a classroom. So number of boys to number of girls, this ratio is what? 10:15, that is 2:3. What does it mean? I can write number of boys to number of girls ratio. Suppose in a class there are 10 boys and 15 girls. Okay, so number of ratio is what? I can say, if I simplify, I will get a 2:3. That means if number of boys is 2 part, number of girls is 3 part. Okay, so here I can write, let number of boys that is equal to 2 part. At that time number of girls, this is equal to 3 part. Suppose 1 part is equal to k, so in place of a boy you can write 2k, in place of a girl you can write 3k. So number of a boy 2 part, that can be written as 2k. Number of girls, it is 3 part, that can be written as 3k. When 1 part is equal to k. If I represent 1 part is equal to k, then in this place number of boys, this is 2k, number of girls, this is 3k. Now important is order matters here. Order of the term. Number of boys to number of girls, this ratio is 2:3. But number of girls to number of boy ratio is 3:2. So order matters. Okay, order of the term, it matters. Now another important key point, whatever I will multiply here, same I have to multiply here. Means this ratio, number of boys to number of girls in a class, it is 2:3. You can write 4:6. You can write 8:2. Suppose I multiply 3 here. You can write 6:9. If I multiply 4 here, 4:12, you can write. Okay, that means whatever I will multiply here, same thing I have to multiply here. Basically, this is called antecedent and this is called consequent. First term, second term. In this way, you can easily remember. Now, another important point, the properties. Suppose if A by B, this is equal to C by D, then few property you have to remember to solve the question. Here I can write B by A, that is equal to D by C. This is called invertendo law. Invertendo law. Few law you just mention. Okay, write it down, and very important when you solve the question. So this is the first important property. Second, if A by B equal to C by D, you can write A by C, that is equal to B by D. This is called alternando law. Alternando law. Similarly, another very important point here, if A by B is equal to C by D, I can write A plus B divided by A, this is equal to C plus D divided by D. Componendo law. Componendo law. You just no need to remember the name, but property important where you have to apply. Okay, in which type of question you apply, that is also important. We will solve the question also, but you just mention for practice purpose. Okay, I can write A minus B by here B is there because at the denominator B is present. Clear? A minus B by B, that is equal to C minus D by D. This is called dividendo law. Dividendo law. Similarly, if I combine these two, very important, here I can write A plus B divided by A minus B equal to C plus D divided by C minus D. This is called componendo dividendo law. Okay, componendo hyphen dividendo law. Dividendo law. I make 3 column here and I write in this way so that you can take this screenshot or you write in this way. Okay, all properties first to remember, all law you remember, then we will solve questions very easy. Okay, so this is the thought process. In this way we are proceeding here. Now another important key point, what is duplicate ratio? Duplicate ratio. Duplicate ratio of A is to B, this is equal to A square is to B square. Similarly, soft duplicate ratio. Soft duplicate ratio of A is to B, this is equal to under root of A is to under root of B. I think this side it is visible. Soft duplicate ratio of A is to B. Duplicate ratio of A is to B, A square is to B square. Soft duplicate ratio of A is to B, that is root A is to root B. Similarly, triplicate ratio. Triplicate ratio. So triplicate ratio of A is to B, this is equal to A cube is to B cube. Similarly, soft triplicate ratio of A is to B, this is cube root of A is to cube root of B. In this way you remember all these properties. Okay, and very easy. Duplicate ratio, A square is to B square. Soft duplicate ratio, root A is to root B. Triplicate ratio of A is to B, that is A cube is to B cube. Soft triplicate ratio, this is cube root of A is to cube root of B. So write it down or take this screenshot here. These laws are very important and these properties are very important when you solve the questions. Okay, so write it down, and few important inequality conditions are there. We will discuss later. First you write it down. I will erase. Next I will mention few property. If A by B, it is greater than, mean A greater than B. If A greater than B, then A by B it is always greater than, suppose a integer value, positive integer value 1 or x, if I add there, A by B always greater than A plus x divided by B plus x. That inequality I will mention. First you write it down or take this screenshot, then I will mention few other properties. After that we will start solving the question. So write it down. Before we discuss inequality concept in ratio, first we will handle few questions based on the law. Already discussed what is ratio. So from definition how we handle the question. Look here in question number 1 it is given A is to B, it is given 5 is to 7. That means in place of A I will put 5k and in place of B I will put 7k. And what we are going to find now, 5a minus 3b is to 4a minus 2b. So how to handle? Look here. Now here A is equal to 5k, In place of a B, I will put 7k, because here A given, this is 5 part and B is 7 part. 1 part is equal to k, so I can write in this way. What I am going to find now, 5a minus 3b divided by 4a minus 2b. So how to handle this? Is 5, in place of a I put 5k, minus 3 into, in place of a b I put 7k, divided by, here in place of a I put 5k and in place of a b I put 7k. So I just do the simplification. This is 25k. 25k minus 7 into 3, 21k. So this is 4k. So 4k divided by, here 20k minus, this is how much? 14k. So that is equal to 6k. K get cancelled. If I solve by 2, simplify by 2, my answer is 2 by 3. My answer 2 is to 3. Option A is correct. In this way you have to handle very simple example. Okay, so I mentioned few examples here, or question number 1, few beats are there. We have to handle and we discuss what is ratio and how we will handle thought process. Okay, so very simple. Same way we handle this one. So here it is given 5a minus 3b divided by 4a minus 2b, that is equal to 2 by 3. What I have to do? You do cross multiplication. If I do cross multiplication, this is 15a, 3 into 3 9, so minus 9b, this is equal to 8a minus 4b. So if I do the simplification, a comes to here 8a, so 15a minus 8a, this is 7a, and 9b goes to that side, that is plus 9b minus 4b, that is equal to 5b. So if I simplify, what is a by b ratio? A by b ratio is 5 by 7, because here a, b comes to this place, 7 comes to this place. Do cross multiplication. The answer is 5 is to 7. Option D is correct. In this way you have to handle very easy. Achha, this one is interesting. This is, here you have to apply which law? Dividendo, componendo and dividendo law. Componendo hyphen dividendo. That means what you have to do, already discussed. If a by b, this is equal to c by d. So according to this, if I apply this law, I can write a plus b divided by a minus b equal to c plus d divided by c minus d. Okay, it is not visible, I think, here. Already discussed last. Okay, so here directly I apply. So here I can write a square minus ab plus b square. Okay, this act as a. Okay, then I add the denominator. So plus a square plus ab plus b square divided by, this is a square minus ab plus b square minus this term. This is a square plus ab plus b square. Okay, that is equal to right hand side 1 plus 3 divided by 1 minus 3. Okay, so if I simplify, minus ab plus ab get cancelled, and here if you observe, plus a square minus a square plus b square, if I open the bracket, this is minus b square get cancelled. So here I can write how many times a present, and a square present 2 times. So twice of a square, similarly b square present 2 times. So plus b square divided by, here minus ab, that is minus 2ab, that is equal to 4 by minus 2. Negative negative get cancelled. If I simplify, 2 is present. Now do cross multiplication. Acha, here minus ab, this is also ab, 2 also get cancelled. 2 also get cancelled. So what I have to do? I write a square plus b square. Here I write 2ab. Now a square plus b square minus 2ab equal to 0. So this is what? A minus b whole square. A minus b whole square equal to 0. So a minus b equal to 0. So you can write a equal to b. If a equal to b, question is what? Find a by b. A divided by b, it is 1. A by b, it is 1. Very simple. Okay. You have to apply componendo dividendo law. Clear? Very easy. Here it is mentioned. I think it is not visible exactly. Okay, but I discussed that law already. आप check कर सकते हो, ठीक है? Now how to handle this one? This is a little bit logical. You need practice for this type of question. First of all, you have to find a by d, because this data is given. Lots of ratios are given, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So how to handle A by D? How to handle A by D? Look here, if I multiply this and this, B get cancelled, C get cancelled. I will easily find A by D. So what I have to do, step number 1, A by B, first you read the question, observe carefully, because I already solved this type of question. These examples I framed ना, so I understood कि how I handle, what is the thought process. So for you, आपको क्या करना है ना, you do practice. Okay, so more you do the practice, because these are definition based question. This is a law based question, but here few modification you have to do. Okay, and when you can handle that, if you do practice. Okay, so what I have to do, I multiply these three terms, A by B into B by C into C by D. The observation is, look here, B get cancelled, C get cancelled. What I observe? Now I get A by D. A by D. So this is how much? Now 1 by 3 into 2 into 1 by 2. 2 get cancelled. So I get A by D. This is equal to 1 by 3. Similarly, B by E. Lots of multiplication. Instead, you can find, if I multiply this and this, D get cancelled, C by E easily you can find. Okay, step number 2, C by D into D by E. You observe D get cancelled. So C by E equal to how much? Now this is 1 by 2 and this is 3. So this is 3 by 2. C by E 3 by 2. Next, C by E gone. Now I want B by F. B by F. If I multiply, here B present, here F present. So I have to cancel C. So multiply this. Then I have to cancel D. Multiply this. Then I have to cancel E. That means step number 3. Here what I have to write? I have to write B by C into C by D into D by E into E by F. So what I will get? C cancel, D cancel, E get cancel. So what is remaining? Not B by F. B by F. Okay. So this is equal to how much? Put the value only, and here values are 2. Okay, C by D 1 by 2 get cancelled. This is 3 1 by 4. Okay, so 2 get cancelled. So here what I will get? 3 by 4. And here C by E equal to how much? 3 by 2. Okay, and this is 1 by 3. So here I will write 1 by 3 into 3 by 2 into 3 by 4. 3 by 4. This get cancelled. So my answer is 3 by 8. 3 by 8. Option A is correct. Option A 3 by 8. Just to multiply. Because this A by D in step 1 I will get that. Then C by E. C by E, this is equal to how much? 3 by 2. I write 3 by 2. Then B by F. B by F. Because C cancel, D cancel, E cancel. So 2 into 1 by 2 into 3 into 1 by 4. I think this is not visible. You can write. Okay. Values are written here. Just to do multiplication, you get 3 by 4. Then I multiply here. In this way, you have to handle. Okay. Write it down or take this screenshot here. This is definition based. You can understand what is ratio. Objective of question number 1 is you understand what is ratio, what is the thought process, and how you handle. Okay. More we will solve the question. You can understand the concept properly. So write it down or take this screenshot here. Question number 2. Look here. Question number 2. It is based on uniform ratio or regular ratio. Okay. So how to handle regular ratio? Look here. It is given A is to B. It is 2 by 3. B is to C. It is given 4 is to 5. Find A is to B is to C. Okay. So how to find this ratio? This is the example of regular ratio. Uniform ratio. Next I will discuss irregular ratio. Okay. So here what I will write, A is to B it is 2 is to 3, B is to C it is 4 is to 5. Now what I will do, in this neighbor place value, here I write 3 and here I will write 4. Now I just multiply. Before that, any common, here how many columns are there? 3 columns are there. Any element common here? No, because here 2 only multiples of 2 present. Here also 2 present, but this is 3 and 5. Both are prime number. So what I have to do? I just multiply. If I multiply, here I will get 8. Here I will get 12. Here I will get 15. And this is the simplest form. A approximate to 8 part, B approximate to 12 part, C approximate to 15 part. In this way you handle regular ratio. Another method is there. Take the LCM 3 and 4, LCM is 12, multiply 4 here in first row and multiply 3 here in second row. If you multiply also, you get 4 into 2, 8, and here 4 into 3 into 4, that is 12, and here 3 into 4, that is equal to how much? Achha, here 5 is present. I multiply 3 here, I multiply 4 here. Okay, so in that way also you can handle. Achha, this is the neighbor place value, na? Only multiply 3 here, because this one is not given. Okay, that is LCM method. Means here I will mention A is to B is to C, another method, alternate method. But this is the best approach, you follow this one. Achha, here it is given A is to B 2 is to 3, B is to C 4 is to 5. So what I have to do, now LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So multiply 4 here in this row and multiply 3 in this row. Okay, so because LCM is 12 there. Now 4 into 2 8, 3 into 4 12, 5 into 3 15. The same answer, but don't follow, this is the best approach. Using this method again I will solve similar based question. Here for how many elements are there? 5 elements are there. A, B, C, D and E. A is to B given 2 is to 3. B is to C given 4 is to 5. Then C is to D given 3 is to 5. Okay. And D is to E given 4 is to 3. 4 is to 3. Now by filling the neighbor place, here, 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 I will write 3. Always fill the neighbor place row wise. In this place and in this place I will write 5 because 5 is present here, and here I will write 4. Similarly here this is 3, here also I write 3, here I write 5, and here I write 4. Okay, filling the vacant place. Okay, now anything common in this 5 column, any element is common. Okay, 3 present here, 3 here, 3 here, here and here. So I just eliminate this 3. You just simplify this 3. After simplification, just multiply any other common element. Here 2 present, 4, 4 means 2 already there. This is 4. Acha, no, this is the simplest. Okay, now multiply. If you do not want to simplify here, you just multiply at the end, you simplify. Okay, because always express it in simplest form. So 4 into 2 8 of 16 into 2 32. 32 here, this is 16 into 3 48. Here this is 5 into 3 15, 15 into 4 60. 25 into 4 100, and here this is 25 into 3 75. And it is in the simplest form because already I simplify. Otherwise here you multiply 3, here you multiply 3 everywhere. At the end again simplify by 3. One more step. Rather you simplify here. Okay. So this is what? Regular ratio. Once again here I am discussing what? Regular ratio. Regular ratio. How to handle regular ratio? This is also called uniform ratio. Uniform ratio. Method here, 2 methods are there. This method and this method. Filling the vacant place wala method is the easiest one, because when more ratios are given, the filling the vacant place method is the easy. Okay, here if you take the LCM, you get to stock here in this case. Okay, now how to handle application of this one? A sum of money, it is distributed among A, B, C such that B gets 12.5% more than A. Now what is the relationship between A and B here? B gets 12.5%. 12.5% means what? 1 by 8. Clear? And in the ratio, denominator indicates the initial value. More pacharchi. Okay. Acha, B value here, it depends upon A value. So always take this value. This is the A value. And here A value we don't know. B value also we don't know. It is given B gets 12.5% more than that of A. B compared with A, so assume A is equal to 8 part. If A equal to 8 part, B is 12.5% more. 8 to 12.5% means 1 more. Okay, so B value is 9. Equation 1. Similarly, here it is given but 25% more than C. Mane B compared with C. 25% means what? 25% 1 by 4. If C value is 4, because B value depends upon C. So C value it is 4. The B value is 1 more, because 25% more means 4 or 25% is 1. So this is 5. Equation 2. Now if A and C is rupees 5700, okay, you find a ratio between A, B and C. A is to B given 8:9, B is to C given 5:4. Again regular ratio, here you write 9, here you write 5. So this is 40. 7, okay, this is 9 into 5, 45, and this is 9 into 4, 36. Now according to the question, A and C is how much? 5700. If I add this, A is equal to how much? 40 unit, 40 part. At that time B approximate to 45 unit by 45 part. C approximate to 36 unit or 36 part. A and C is how much? If I add 76. 76 part is equal to how much? 5700. 1 part is equal to how much? Now this is 5700 divided by 76. Question is what? Find the difference between A and C. A approximate to how much? 40 part. C approximate to how much? 36. That difference is what? 4 unit. 4 part. So 4 part value is equal to what? Now this is equal to 5700 by 76 into 4. If I simplify by 4, this is 19. And you know 19 into 3 is how much? 57. Okay. So 300. So this is 300. So which option is correct? Option B is correct. These are the example of regular ratio. Now the question is, sir, you solve this, you fill this vacant place, okay, row wise, that is the concept. But how you identify whether this is regular or irregular? Regular means proper alphabetical sequence is maintained. Proper alphabetical sequence, A is to B given, then B is to C given, in this way. Here A is to B given, then B is to C given, C is to D given, D is to E given. So proper alphabetical. If randomly they will provide A is to C, B is to D, then that is irregular. Here also regular pattern, A is to B, then B is to C. Proper sequence is maintained, alphabetical sequence. That is called regular ratio. Otherwise, it is called irregular ratio. So write it down. Okay, this is the way we handle regular ratio. Take this screenshot here or write it down. Question number 4. Here the question belongs to what? Irregular ratio. Proper alphabetical sequence is not maintained. But you read the question. Okay, first you have to understand whether it is regular or irregular. 5 companies are there: C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5. The profit made by C1, C2, C3. And the proper sequence is maintained here. Ratio given 9:10:8. While profit made by C2, C4 and C5. Look, C2, C4, C5. C3 is missing now. So it is irregular. So what it is given? So 5 companies are there: C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5. Profit made by, first statement it is given, profit made by C1, C2, C3. This is 9:10:8. This one is given. Sequence, proper alphabetical sequence. But after that, profit made by C2, again profit made by C2, it is given how much? 18 part. C2 18, then C4 it is 19 part, and C5 it is 20 part. So here C3 is missing na, so it is not regular, it is irregular. So how to handle irregular ratio? For regular ratio you fill the vacant place, but for irregular ratio you observe company C2. In one case profit is given 10 part, okay, unit, and here another case it is given 18. So to synchronize this, okay, make this value equal. How to make it equal? Take the LCM. How to take the LCM? Bigger value is 18. You think which multiples of 18 will give you 0 at the unit place? Now 18 into 5, that is 90. So LCM is 90. LCM is 90. So what I will multiply here? I multiply 5 here. In this row, everywhere I multiply 5. Similarly, here what I will multiply? 9. So in this row, everywhere I multiply 9. Now this is how much? 81. This one is 90. This one is 8 into 9, 72. This is 19 into 5. This is 95. Done. And this is 100. Now it is given C5 has made a profit 19 crores more than C1. Comparison given. Comparison between C1 and C5. Gap is how much? Gap is 19 unit. But 19 part. 19 part is equal to how much? Real data what it is given? 19 crore. 19 part is equal to 19 crore. 1 part is equal to how much? 1 part is equal to 1 crore. Question is the total profit made by all the 5 companies. You have to add all this value. Okay. 90, 80. That is equal to 70, 171, 171 or 72. Okay. So 170 or 70 that is equal to 240, 243. Okay. 2 and 1. 243. 243, 95. You know 240, 100. That is 340. 340 minus 5. That is 335. Okay. So 335 ये 3. 338. 338, 100. 438. So 438 unit by part. This is equal to how much? Now one part is 1 crore. 438 part is equal to 438 crore. So these are the profit made by all these 5 companies. Okay. ये all these addition वगैरह. Okay. Do it manually. Okay. Speed of your calculation. So in this way we handle what? Irregular ratio. So the main difference between regular and irregular. Regular ratio, proper alphabetical sequence is maintained. Irregular ratio, randomly data is given. A is to C, A is to D, no alphabetical sequence. Yeah, numbering. Here C is missing. Company, profit made by company C3, it is missing here. So it is not regular, it is irregular. Okay, in this way you can identify what is regular ratio, what is irregular ratio and solve the question. Write it down or take this insert here. Question number 5. Look here in question number 5. Arun, Barun and Kiran, they had a total of rupees 8,000 with them. They spent rupees 50, 100 and 200 respectively. Means Arun spent rupees 50, Barun spent 100 rupees and Kiran spent 200 rupees. The amount remaining with them are in the ratio. This value is given. Ki Arun has how much? Now 14k money. Barun has how much money remaining? Now 22k. And Kiran it is 15k. Question is what is the amount? What was the amount with Barun initially? That means this is 22k plus 100. Okay. So we will find after spending Arun has how much money with him? Now this is 14k. Barun has how much money? 22k. And Kiran has how much money? 15k. Okay. Now sum is how much? This is 36. 36 plus 15. This is 51. Okay, so 51k. This is equal to how much? Now rupees 8,000. Okay. Achha, 51k and they spend rupees 350. So this is minus 350. Okay. Because they already spend rupees 350. So this is how much? Now 7,650. Okay. Now if I simplify what is k? Now k is equal to 7,650 divided by 51. 51 into 1. Okay. So remaining is 2, 5, 25. So 255. 51 into 5. 255 and 0. So this is 150. K is equal to 150. After finding k, question is what was the amount with Barun initially? Now Barun has how much money? 22k and Barun spent how much? Now 100. So if I do the simplification, 22 into 150 plus 100. So how to find? No, 22 into 100. 2200. 2200. 22 into 5. That is equal to 1100. Okay. Now this 100. Okay. So answer is what? This is 3400. Barun has how much money initially? 3400. Because this is 3300 and plus 100, 3400. Barun has this much money. In this way you handle definition based. Okay. Now question number 6 you read. The ratio of present age of a man and his only daughter is 4:1. Man and his only daughter. their present age ratio is what? Their present age ratio, this is 4:1. Okay. The man was 30 years old when his son was born. And what is the relationship between son and his daughter? Now, son who is 3 years younger to his daughter. Man was 30 years old when son was born. Condition given, son is 3 years younger to his daughter. That means what? That means man was 27 years old when daughter was born. Man, here it is given, man was 30 years old when son was born, and son is 3 years younger to his daughter. That means man was 27 years old when daughter is born. That means man and daughter, their age ratio is what? Age ratio is 27 year. And here present age ratio is 3k, 3 part. So 3 part is equal to 27 year. 1 part is equal to how much? This is equal to 9 year. 1 part means what? 1 part means daughter of present age. So daughter of present age is how much? 9 year. And question is, what is the present age of his son? Son is 3 years younger. The answer for this question is 6 year. That is 9 minus 3, that is equal to 6 year. This is the present age of son. Okay, very interesting question, analytical question. Step by step you have to read and do the analysis. Okay, in this way you handle, write it down. Question number 7. In question number 7 it is given, Raju and Lalita originally had marbles in the ratio 4:9. Then Lalita gave some of her marbles to Raju. At a result, the ratio of number of marbles with Raju to that with Lalita is 5:6. Originally they have this ratio, marbles with them with this ratio 4:9. Two persons are there, Raju and Lalita. Originally they have marbles with them in the ratio 4:9. Raju has 4 part marbles and Lalita has 9 parts marbles. Okay, then it is given कि Lalita gave some of her marbles to Raju. So finally the marble ratio, it become how much? 5:6. Lalita gave some of her marbles to Raju. Okay. Now the concept for this question is what? What fraction of her original number of marbles was given by Lalita to Raju? Okay. So if you observe here, total part is what? Total marbles. Here total marble is 13 part initially, and finally it is how much? Finally it is 11 part. This is possible ki no? Why? Suppose I have 10 chocolate and my brother has 5 chocolate. Okay, listen carefully. I have 10 chocolate, my brother has 5 chocolate. Okay, so total is 15 part. Now I give 2 chocolate to my brother. So now I have how much chocolate? 8. Brother has how much? 5 plus 2, that is 7. So total become also 15 na. I have 8 now, he has 7 now. 8 plus 7, 15. Originally total chocolate is 15. Finally also total chocolate is 15. I gave 2 chocolate to my brother. Okay. So total part remains same, but here total part is different. Now what we have to do? Now make this value equal. How to make it? LCM. Take the LCM. LCM is what? Multiplication, because 2 prime numbers are there. Multiply 11 here. If you multiply 11 in this row, everywhere you have to multiply 11. Similarly, multiply 13 here. In this row, everywhere you have to multiply 13. Now question is about Lalita. So if I simplify, this is what? 99. Okay. Originally Lalita has 99 marbles. Now he has how much? How many marbles? 13 into 6, 78 marbles. So Lalita gave how many marbles to Raju? Now 21. So there, what fraction of her marbles she gave to Raju? Now 21 divided by original value 99. If I simplify by 3, 7 into 3, 21, and this is 33. So 7 by 33. Yes, it is there. Option D is correct. Very interesting. Good question. Okay, easy. Okay, so thought process is easy, but if you approach in this way, you can handle. Okay, ki total, make the value equal. Okay, total value remains same. Okay, now solve this question. This is also very interesting, analytical. Pause this video, try this one, and then you check how I solve. What is the thought process behind this? This is also a good one. The score of Amla and Bimla in an exam, it is in the ratio 11:14. Amla and Bimla, their score ratio, okay, initially their score ratio is what? Initially their score ratio is 11:14. Now what it is given, after an appeal means review, the score increased by same amount, okay, and their new score are in the ratio this new score. This become how much? Now this is 47:56. Achha, logic behind this, their score increased by same amount. Same example. Suppose I have 10 chocolate and my brother has 15 chocolate. So 10:15. Now what I have to do? Increase this value by 5. Increase this value by also 5, same value. So this become 15 and this become how much? 20. Achha, initially gap is what? Initially gap is 5. Finally also gap is 5. I mean gap remains same. Okay. In this method, gap remains same. So you can say this is gap method. So initially gap is how much? 3 part. Initially gap is 3 part. Now gap is how much? This is 3 and 6. 9 part. Make gap equal. Okay. If you increase the ratio, okay, antecedent consequent by same amount. Suppose I add plus 5 here, plus 5 here. 11 plus 5, 16. 16 plus 5 is 20. Gap is what? 11 plus 5, 16. Sorry, 14 plus 5, it is 19. Okay, so 16, 19. Initially gap is 3. If I increase them by same amount, again gap is 3. Plus 5 plus 5. If I add plus 5, this becomes 16. If I add plus 5, this becomes 19. 16, 19, gap is 3. Here also gap is 3. So if the ratio increased by same amount, gap remains same. So you can say gap method. This method is gap method. Okay. So what I have to do, now you check, make the gap equal. This is 9, so multiply 3 here. If I multiply 3 here, in this row everywhere I have to multiply 3. Achha, question is about Bimla. Bimla's new score to original score. New score means this one, 56. To original score, 14 into 3. That is equal to how much? 42. So 42. If I simplify by 7, 7 into 8, 46. 7 into 6, 42. Again simplify by 2. This is 4:3. 4:3 is my answer. Yes, option A is correct. 4:3. So this is gap method. If you increase the ratio by same amount, their gap must be same. And here this question belongs to what? Total part. Make total part equal. Means ratio is given. Lalita gave some marbles to Raju. Initially total part is 13. If Lalita gave some marbles to Raju, at the end their total part remains same, na? Suppose I have 15. We have me and my brother. Total I have 15 chocolate. I have 10 chocolate. Brother has 5 chocolate. I give 2 chocolate to my brother. Now I have 8 chocolate. Brother has 7 chocolate. Total become 15, na? Total must be same. But here total is different. One is 13 part, other one is 11 part. So make it equal. How to make it equal? Take the LCM, multiply. If I multiply 11 here, same I have to multiply here, same I have to multiply here. Similarly, if I multiply 13 here, multiply 13 here, multiply 13 here. So this is what? Total remains same. This is gap method. Okay. These two questions are very interesting. Already asked in exam, in lots of competitive exam, in CAT also. This was asked. Very important question. Write it down or take this screenshot here. Okay, question number 9. Look here in question number 9. A precious stone fell down and broke into 2 pieces whose weights are in the ratio 3:4. A stone is there. It break into 2 pieces. One piece 3 part, other piece 4 part. Okay. The value of the stone, it varies directly with square of its weight. Okay, here it is given one condition. Value of the stone, it is directly proportional to weight square. Okay. So you can easily find what is the original value. Okay, value of the stone originally. So this is 3 part, 4 part. So originally it is 7 part. So here this is proportionality symbol K into 7x. 7 part. 1 part is x. The 7 part is 7x. 7x square. So this can be written as 49kx square. Equation 1. Now it is broke into two pieces. Okay, weight are given 3 and 4. So after breakage, so I can write this is k into, okay, first part is 3x square plus other part is what, k into 4x square. So this is equal to how much? 9kx square. 9kx square plus here it is 16kx square. Okay, so this is equal to how much? 25kx square. 25kx square. This is after breakage. This is original value. This is after breakage. This is the value. 25kx square. Equation 2 you can say. Now loss is how much? Loss. Loss is equal to original minus this. Means 24kx square. And this loss here it is given. The loss in the value of the stone due to breakage it is 9600. So this value is given 9600. So kx square is equal to how much? Kx square. You know 24 into 4 is 96. Okay, so this is 400. Kx square is equal to 400. Question is find the original value of the stone. Original value is what? Original value 49kx square. 49kx square. So this is 49 into kx square value you just put there 400. You know 50 into 4 200. So 200 minus 4. Or 49 into 4 is 196. 196 and 00 is there. Okay. So in this way you handle. This is 19,600 original value of the stone. In this way you have to handle, make the cases. Okay. Equation. And here I use a proportionality constant. That is k. Okay. And I don't know what is k. Okay. I find kx square is 400, creating this equation. So in this way you have to handle. Write it down. Very easy one. This question based on variation. Ratio, proportion, variation. Variation also equally important. This type of question you can see in your exam. Very, very important. Expected question for this year. Okay, write it down. Okay, question number 10. Look here in question number 10, it is given a writer gets a fixed amount for a book he writes and a royalty. Okay, so for every book you write, okay, you get a fixed amount and suppose X number of copies are sold. So you get royalty also for that X copies. Okay. So a writer gets a fixed amount and a royalty which varies with the number of copies sold. Obviously, he gets rupees 26,000 and rupees 34,000 when 400 and 600 copies respectively are sold. When 400 copies are sold, he gets rupees 26,000. When 600 copies are sold, he gets rupees 34,000. The question is find the amount he would get when 900 copies of his book are sold. Okay. So writer gets a fixed amount. That fixed value we don't know. Let's say fixed amount is F. We don't know the value. Okay. And a royalty, let's say K. Okay. So first when he get rupees 26,000, he get rupees 26,000 when 400 copies are sold. So he get a fixed amount and for that 400 copy he get what? Royalty. So royalty is K. So for 400 books, okay, he get royalty. So 400k directly proportional. Okay, equation 1. Then it is given when 600 copies are sold, he gets rupees 34,000. And here F, when fixed amount plus for 600, he get royalty. Now if I solve these two equation, how to solve? Equation 2 is bigger value na here. So equation 2 minus equation 1. So this is how much? Gap is 8,000. So 8,000 is equal to, ye to get cancel. Okay, this is how much? 200k. 200k. 0000 get cancel. So k is equal to how much? 40. If k is equal to 40, put any of the equation. If I put it in equation 1, what I will get? Now 26,000, that is equal to F plus, because objective is I have to find F. Okay, so this is 400 into 40. So if I do the simplification, F is equal to how much? 26,000 and this is how much? 16,000. So 10,000. So fixed amount is what? 10,000. If fixed amount is 10,000, question is when 900 copies are sold, so 900, the amount he will get, that is equal to fixed amount plus 900 into k. K to already we know 40. So fixed amount also we know 10,000. So 10,000 plus 900 into 40. So this is equal to 10,000 plus this is 3600. Acha 10. Okay. So answer is what? 46,000. 46,000. Okay. So when 900 books copies are sold, writer get this much amount, 46,000. The thought process is first you find this fixed amount, variable amount, royalty also you don't know, find this two unknown, F and a K. So first you find a K and put here in any of the equation, easily you can find F. Two unknowns are there. Here you create amount he get when 900 copies are sold is this. Okay, in this way you handle. This is also based on variation. Okay, variation equally important. Ratio to important. This is also equally important. Okay. Okay, we'll continue. What do you mean by proportion? Very important. What do you mean by proportion? Now it is the statement of equality of ratio. Statement of equality of ratio is called proportion. Very important. Equality of ratio. In short, we will write, let's say 4 variables are there and they are in proportion. How to write? Now A is to B, then proportion symbol, C is to D. Okay. This is the proportion. A is to B. This is one ratio. This is one ratio. Okay. And the statement of equality of ratio is called proportion. And here we discuss how to find fourth proportion, how to find mean proportion, okay, how to find third proportion. These are very important. Now important point, these two are called means, okay, these are called means. Clear? And these are called extremes. Clear? Now product of mean, okay, product of means, that is equal to product of extremes. Very important point. Product of means, this is equal to product of extremes. Product of extremes. What do you mean by this product of means and product of extremes? A, D, these are the extremes, and product of means, this is B, C. Okay, this is the relation. Clear? Achha, question is, first one, what is the fourth proportion? Fourth proportion of A, B and C. How to find fourth proportion? Now you know this condition, fourth proportion means this D is the fourth proportion, this one. So how to find D? Now D is equal to, fourth proportion is D, this is equal to, what you have to write? BC by A. BC by A. Okay, so this is the D. D stands for fourth proportion. Okay, so this is product of means divided by A. Similarly, suppose question is how to find third proportion. Third proportion to A and B. How to find third proportion? Let's say third proportion is C. Okay, so you write A, B, C. Now you write B twice. Now A is to B. Okay, proportion symbol, B is to C. Then what you have to write? You apply the concept formula, product of extreme AC, product of means B square. Okay, and here C we are going to find. Now C is equal to B square by A. C is the third proportion. In this way you have to write. Then similarly, what is mean proportion? Mean proportion means in between I will take one variable. So here I will write, okay, mean proportion to A and B. It is visible, okay, to A and B. So let's say mean proportion is X. So I write A is to X is to B. So here X write twice. You can write this is A is to X. Proportion symbol, X is to B. So here I can write X square. This is equal to AB. So X is equal to what? Under root of AB. This under root of AB is called mean proportion. These are the formulas, very easy. Okay, mean proportion, mean value. Okay, so A and B, two variables are there. Their mean proportion means it is present here at the middle. you write twice. So product of means become x square. Product of extreme is AB. So x is equal to AB, the root over. Similarly, this is third proportion, this is fourth proportion. In this way, you find if it required. Okay. So this is all about proportion, and this is the statement. The statement of equality of ratio is called proportion. Okay. So very important. Write it down. 3 formula you just write. 1. This is 2, and this one is 3. 3 formula you just mention. This formula. This C stands for what? Third proportion. X stands for mean proportion. And here this is the fourth proportion. Okay. You write it down. I think this one is visible. Or take this insert here. Okay. Mean proportion. Mean proportion here. Once again I write the formula. Third one. Mean proportion. Mean proportion to A and B. Okay. So let's say X is the mean proportion. And how to find X? Now AB the root over. Already derived here. Okay. So write it down or take this insert.